All right, let's go to the brawl, the melee, Donnybrook. Give me the backstory on this because it's rare when you just have something of this magnitude that's based off what happens in the moment.
Yeah, there's definite backstory. Mike Trout, first of all, has killed the Mariners for his entire career. 53 homers against the Mariners, his most against any team, the most homers any player hit against the Mariners. He's hit more homers in Seattle than any active visiting player has hit in any ballpark where he's been a visitor. Last weekend, they played a 5-game series in Seattle, which had a makeup from the lockout, and he hit 5 homers in the series. He killed them. All 4 of them were game-winning homers. And one of those, Scott Service basically got killed in the media because he didn't intentionally walk him. You know, it was an extra innings. They pitched to him. He hit a homer. You know, obviously it doesn't look very good. So now you fast forward to Saturday. Trout comes up as the tying run in the 9th inning, and obviously they're not going to pitch to him. But instead of just intentionally walking him, they pitch around him, and the first pitch or the second pitch goes right over his head. And Trout is pretty annoyed with that. After the game, he was as upset and angry as I've ever seen him in 10 years of covering him. So if you're the Angels and you see Mike Trout is that upset, you have to do something about it, basically. So I think what happened on Sunday is they used an opener for the game, and he came out there and he threw a pitch to Julio Rodriguez kind of right behind his head. And then in the second inning, he threw one to Jesse Winker, hit him right in the hip. And pretty much that was that. It was on. And, I don't think that Trout thought the Mariners were throwing at him intentionally, but he certainly thought that if they were just pitching around him, that they should have done it in a safer way, or else just put up 4 fingers and let him go to first. And he was mad about it. And, I think the Angels, definitely the way they're going, they needed some kind of a spark. And certainly this was a perfect opportunity to do something that was going to get people fired up. And I think it was extremely predictable, which is another reason I think you can kind of blame the umpires for this, because I talked to the umpires after the game, and I said, well, were warnings issued before the game based on what happened Saturday night? And they go, oh, no, we didn't think that was enough to warrant warnings. Well, all of us in the press box knew there was going to be a fight. So for the umpires to say that they didn't think there was enough to have warnings, I think is something's missing there. And if they would have just said, like, before the game, all right, anybody throws at anybody, they're getting kicked out. And when Wentz throws the first pitch behind Julio Rodriguez, he kicks him out right there, it's probably over. So that's what happened.
Do you like that baseball polices itself?
I mean, it's kind of silly, but it's what we have. It's what the players expect. And I think for the most part, people don't get hurt. I mean, it is kind of silly when you try to think about it, try to explain it to somebody who's not a baseball fan. They just go, why are they, it's not his fault that he hit a lot of homers against them. So why would you be mad at him? And
I know.
It's kind of dumb.
I never understood that. I've called out pitchers. I say it's cowardly, especially in the American League when they didn't have to come to the plate. That you want to hurt me because I hurt you in a way that it was within the rules. And I just or the guy after the guy who homers.
That's even dumber when you throw at the next guy.
I know. I always feel bad for that guy. You bat behind somebody who's like Aaron Judge, and then you're like, oh, damn, he just homered. Now I'm going to get, somebody going to buzz the tower here. But and then you see by the time the bullpen gets in, like it feels like everything's done, and then the bullpen comes in. Well, then they have to play a role here as well. What kind of suspensions are we looking at?
I mean, that's a great question. I think that there's certainly some of the main guys are probably going to get, 5-10 games, just off the top of my head, maybe more. There were some pretty big punches thrown. I've seen a lot of these baseball fights, and I haven't seen punches to this degree in too many of them. And Jesse Winker also flipped off the crowd like multiple times with both hands, walking out off the field. So I'm sure that's going to earn him a little extra change paying to Major League Baseball. So, and the managers obviously are both going to get suspended. So it's going to be interesting to see.